Hello everyone! Last time we created all the modes with a starting node C. C Ionian, C Dorian, C Phrygian, C Lydian, and so on. And this was the result. Today I would like to give these modes a different kind of order, from the modes using a sharp, then no sharp, and flats. The only mode in C that uses a sharp is C Lydian. Let's put this one first. Do we have a mode that doesn't use a sharp or flat? Yes, we see it's C Ionian. So let's take this second. Now let's start with the order of flats. Which mode uses one flat? It's C Mixolydian. Let's put that third. Which mode uses two flats? Let's see. It's Dorian. Dorian uses E flat and B flat. Which mode uses three flats? That's Aeolian. Which mode uses four flats? It is Phrygian. And which mode uses five flats? It's Locrian. So now we have a certain order in our system of modes. We start with Lydian, having one sharp. Then we move on to Ionian, which doesn't use a sharp or flat. Then we see Mixolydian using one flat, Dorian using two flats, Aeolian 3, Phrygian 4, and Locrian 5 flats. So let's take a closer look at the order we just created. Here we see our C Ionian scale, or the C major scale. The only difference to Lydian is that Lydian uses a sharpened fourth tone. If you want to create a Lydian scale, just take your major or Ionian scale and raise the fourth degree. Then you will get Lydian. The difference between C Ionian and C Mixolydian is the flattened seventh tone. If you want to get Mixolydian, just lower the seventh degree of your Ionian scale. Lydian, Ionian and Mixolydian all belong into the group of major scales. To be able to tell whether a mode or a scale is major or minor, you just need to take a look at the interval that is formed by the first and third note. The interval between a C and an E is a major third. And we find this major third in Lydian, in Ionian and Mixolydian. So these scales all belong into the group of major scales. Minor scales, or minor modes, use a minor third between tone 1 and tone 3, so from C to E flat. And you see that the following scales are all belonging into the group of minor scales. So technically there is not only one major scale, there are many major scales. Ionian is the one that is mostly used in the Western world. We refer to it as the major scale. To go from Mixolydian and form Dorian, we have to flatten the third degree. Now let's move on. The difference between Dorian and Aeolian is the sixth degree, which gets lowered. So Aeolian uses a flattened third, a flattened sixth and a flattened seventh in comparison to Ionian or major. This is the way how to create an Aeolian or natural minor scale. The difference between Aeolian and Phrygian is the second degree. We get a flattened second degree in Phrygian, the rest stays the same as in Aeolian. And the difference between Phrygian and Locrian is the flattened 5th degree. So in Locrian we get a flattened 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th and 7th degree. So there are various ways on how to remember how to construct the modes. You can either work it out by knowing where the semitone steps are in the scale. You can also just start from Ionian and think Lydian has a sharpened 4th, for example, Mixolydian has a flat 7, and so on. So let's take an even closer look at what's happening from one mode to the next. The Lydian sharpened 4th becomes a perfect 4th in Ionian. The next difference between Ionian and Mixolydian is that the B drops down to a B flat. And from Mixolydian to Dorian, all we need to do is to flatten the 3rd. We get an E flat in the case of C Dorian. Now from Dorian to Aeolian, what changes is that we lower the 6th degree. Instead of an A in Dorian, we get an A flat for Aeolian. Well, by looking at this, you can already predict what's going to happen if we go from Aeolian to Phrygian. If you analyze the intervals from F to B flat upwards, we get a perfect 4th. From B flat to E flat, and from E flat to A flat, we also get a perfect 4th. So let's predict what's going to happen for Phrygian. We will get a D flat, which is a perfect 4th up from A flat, or a perfect 5th down from A flat. And if we check, indeed we get a D flat. Now the prediction for Locrian would be a G flat. And if I check, yes, here we are, we get the G flat. So you see how logical actually this order is. So let's give this order a certain name. Let's just take the first letters of the modes and we get LIMDAPL, the LIMDAPL. Lydian, Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian, Aeolian, Phrygian and Locrian. And that's it for today.